Let me start with saying, when I was navigating my husband's illness, I didn't know what hospice care was. I didn't know what palliative care was. People tend to use the word palliative care and hospice care fairly synonymously. And from that perspective, and as I understood what I needed to do for my husband, it was very, very clear that having the dignified last days of any human being is super important. And it's something that each human being deserves. And from that perspective, I think the whole access to hospice care and access to compassionate care was very near and dear to my heart, and our hearts, actually. I joined the board because that's what Ravi wanted me to do. His last 17 days, when he was where he lived to his fullest, he was extremely lucid up to day 16. What he asked me was, when I'm done from here, do two things for me. Make sure you continue to donate to Samaritan in some form or manner. And he said, secondly, make sure that you give back to them by doing something yourself. So his piece was, make sure you join the board. And truly, all I've done is always been for Ravi, and what I continue to do for Samaritan is for Ravi.
I think it was a dual-pronged mission. One, just to give back to this region, and then two, to see through and to dedicate herself to this cause that was really important to our family and then also was very formative. And so it was really important and special to me to see her not only join a board in this community, but also to join a board that was so important and touched our lives in such a significant way.
So when I first joined the board, I joined the Diversity and Inclusion Committee. That was the piece that I was obviously very passionate about. Most folks in our Hindu religion, and not necessarily just Hindu religion, but Indians in general, when you decide to take the role and say, okay, we're going to allow our loved one to go through a process of hospice, wherein you're no longer depending on healthcare systems to take care of you, but you're allowing the soul to go through the process that it needs to, and you give them the dignified, compassionate, and the most graceful transition that they deserve. That in our community is considered giving up on the person. And we faced it. Ashwin and I faced it. And we as a family made that decision to go through hospice because we believed that he deserved that transition in the most graceful way that any human can have. So from that perspective, the diversity and inclusion became super important because that allowed me to have access to be able to educate, be an advocate, as well as hopefully create some type of a forum wherein we can actually talk about it. And so that's stirred into us saying, hey, what if we just taught the caregivers and the nurses, what are these nuances? What do they need to know when they are walking into a patient's home who is of a Hindu religion? What does the transition of life mean like to them? That's really what led us to doing this training. It was beautiful, it was vibrant, the questions were truly engaging where they got it.
My mom and I both realized is that there was a real opportunity here to make sure that what we had experienced was more broadly known across all of the different communities here in South Jersey.
Ravi and I celebrated our 19th wedding anniversary at that Mount Holly Center. We had friends and family come in. The hospital did this beautiful event where we brought in food and they allowed for all of this. I don't think that would have happened at any other organization other than Samaritan.
What makes Samaritan truly special is that level of compassion and individualized care that we saw firsthand in the inpatient unit and from the nurses. And it didn't feel just like another healthcare interaction.
The 17 days that my husband spent there was one that allowed Ashwin and I to process what we were going to go through in life post-Ravi. It gave us the closure that Ashwin and I deserved, and also allowed Ravi to transition with the knowledge that Ashwin and I will be okay going forward. If there was any way for me to have saved my husband, right, I would go to the moon and back and do so. But knowing that that was not possible, the best way we could have said goodbye to him was through an organization like Samaritan. At the end of the day, Samaritan did something for us that both of us will always be grateful for. And I know Ravi, wherever he is, will be truly grateful that he got to leave this earth with the most beautiful way.